So I'm going to now also, when I do a Facebook Live, record it and also upload it to YouTube. So starting today. All right. So fast forward to August 26, 2019. As Florida Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhardt advised the court that Kleinman Estate should get half of the BTC allegedly mined with Kleinman before 2014. Moreover, half the intellectual property owned by Wright before December 31st, 2013 should also be handed over to the plaintiffs, Reinhardt recommended. I don't know why Craig's crying over this. He would have, if Dave was still alive, that's what he'd be doing anyway. This is where greed takes over. Now, yes, I'm a capitalist. Yes, I love to make money. I was talking to Pretty about this the other day too. You know, at some point, you make enough money where it doesn't matter how much more money you make, your lifestyle's not going to change. As Dave Chappelle put it, he went to the most, what do you want to call it, nicest restaurant in New York, the most expensive restaurant in New York, with his wife. And across from him was sitting a billionaire. And he said the billionaire ordered the most expensive thing on the menu. And so did he. And he's like, he's sitting there. He's got 60 million in the bank. The billionaire's got billions in the bank. They both could buy the same thing. I mean, at one point, it's just my yacht is bigger than your yacht, or I've got 3 of them and you've only got 1. Really? You can't be on 3 yachts at the same time. At some point, your lifestyle is not going to change and you have more money than you can ever spend. Do you think that Craig Wright's lifestyle, having $5 billion in the account, would be different if he had $10 billion in his account? No. He could still buy the same exact thing. Why go through all of this to screw somebody over because you want to keep all the money? This is the downfall of a lot of individuals. I see it in network marketing. I see it in direct sales. I see it in investing. I'm not wired that way. I'm not wired that I got to screw somebody over so I can go make some money. Could I make a lot more money than I am making right now if I acted that way? Yes. Yes, I could. It's just not maybe the way I was raised. I don't know. But this fool's going through all this because he wants to screw over a family of money that is rightfully theirs. Let me continue. Not too long after Kleinman passed away on April 26, 2013, the plaintiffs said Wright reached out to Dave's brother Ira and told him he partnered with Dave to mine Bitcoin and create valuable IP. The Kleinman estate says that Wright said Dave signed all these property rights away in exchange for non-controlling share of a non-operational Australian company worth millions. The plaintiffs accused Wright of document manipulation, fraud, and outright forgery. So what he was trying to do was basically give them millions of dollars, right? Get his thinking his brother didn't know nothing about crypto and Bitcoin. Yeah, your brother signed away this, the rights, but you get access to, millions, and I'm going to give you millions. Now, to the ignorant, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll take the millions, when the estate is worth $5 billion. As part of this plan, Craig forged a series of contracts that purported to transfer Dave assets to Craig. Why would he even do that? Or companies controlled by him. Craig backdated these contracts and forged Dave's signature on them. The lawsuit's argument claims, according to reporter Katie Ananina, who witnessed the hearing on Monday, the judge said Dr. Wright did not impress me as someone telling the truth. All Craig's testimonies have been rejected on this matter. By this time, y'all already know the outcome. 50% of all the patents related to Bitcoin and filed prior to Dave's death going to the Kleinmans. So do 50% of coins supposedly mined by Craig Wright and Dave. Craig Wright pays Kleinman's legal fees. Judge Reinhardt's recommendation must be accepted by Judge Beth Bloom, however, who is also presiding over the case. Another reporter who calls himself 22nd Century Crypto witnessed the court proceedings as well and stated that Judge Reinhardt implied he doesn't believe the notorious Tulip Trust exists. Any coins mined by Craig Wright from the time he met Dave Kleiman to the time Dave Kleiman passed is up for debate, as well as any IP that was developed during that time period, the reporter explained. 22nd Century Crypto added, note, the judge does not think a trust exists. I would imagine this will have a large play in the actual trial. That would be interesting. So are you saying that there actually is no million Bitcoin? Wright's whale warning, and this is going to go into the next article I'm going to read here. Following the statements of the cryptocurrency reporters who attended the hearing, the Kleiman Estate's attorney, Val Friedman, commented on Judge Reinhardt's ruling. The Kleiman family has waited a long time to recover assets that should have been returned to it shortly after Dave's unfortunate death in 2013. Today's ruling marks an important step in the right direction. After the court's proceedings, Craig Wright gave an interview to crypto publication Modern Consensus and told the interviewer that he expects the Kleimans will have to pay billions in taxes. Really? You're going to throw them? I mean, that's like a little, I don't call them snitching here. You're going to put it out there? Wright explained that he plans to comply with the court's and stated, if the court makes an order, I will comply with the order. And the court has made an order. It's that simple. The self-styled Satoshi also said that the judge won't rule on whether I'm Satoshi and that people should be prepared for what lies ahead. What are you talking about? The judge did say you did not prove you were Satoshi. He insisted, everyone might want to start praying because I complied with courts and that might get scary really, really quickly. The courts ruled that Ira inherited the $5 billion. Now he has to pay estate tax on that if he wants it. So do you, Craig Wright. You should have thought of that before you decided to try to screw them. You could have handled this privately. The courts, the IRS, the governments would have known nothing about it. Just find the Kleiman's Bitcoin wallet address and transfer the Satoshi over to them. That's all you had to do, and neither of you. You don't have to do it through any exchange. Neither of you would have to report anything. But you got greedy here. So what is his threat? Let's see, I'm gonna go into the next article here. What is his threat? And how is this going to impact us? So this is why we want to pay attention. Self-proclaimed Satoshi says court ruling against him could trigger a $1 billion Bitcoin dump. Actually, I hope it does. What? Brandon, shut up. No. Hear me out. I hope it does. Why? That's going to put more crypto on the market. It's going to drop the price dramatically. Something like that could drop it down to the $4,000 region. Why is that a good thing for us? See, here's what's going to happen, and I call it a spoiler alert, not a prediction. Here's what will happen. The media and the news will go crazy saying that the bubble has burst again, that everybody's losing their money in crypto, that it's a scam, it's a Ponzi, it's too volatile. We told you this thing's not going to work. See, it crashed again. It's only worth 10% of what it was at the height. But the real people, the educated ones, see opportunity. That we now have more opportunity to stack as many crypto as we can, to buy more on the cheap, buying it on the dip. We have more time to build our crypto portfolio because that train will go right back up again. So I hope the thing crashes again. So let's read this article. What's he talking about here? A judge has ordered the self-proclaimed Satoshi Nakamoto to turn over half of his pre-2014 Bitcoin holdings to Dave Kleiman's estate. The court also ordered Wright to hand over intellectual property associated with the cryptocurrency software. Ira Kleiman, the brother of the deceased tech entrepreneur who Wright says was involved in the creation of Bitcoin, claims Wright abused a complex multi-year partnership to misappropriate over 1 million BTC, a sum worth roughly $10 billion, which represents half of Wright's holdings. Wright isn't entitled to a jury trial, nor is he allowed to oppose the order, according to Monday's ruling. However, he can appeal. The case was heard in the Southern District of Florida by United States Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhardt, who reportedly did not issue an opinion on Wright's claims to be Satoshi. The case is not completely concluded, and procedural issues like collection still need to be finalized. In a phone interview with Modern Consensus, shortly after the ruling on Monday, Wright says he now has no choice but to hand over $5 billion in BTC. This is going to be intriguing here. That supposed account has not moved Bitcoin at all. Does he actually have access to this? Or was it all a smokescreen? I think here's the game he was trying to play. At the same time of him wanting access or to the whole account, he needs to be claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto to also have access, because only Satoshi could have access if this is that same account with 1 million Bitcoin in it. If that's the account, it has never moved coins in it in 10 years. So does he actually control it? Does he have the ability to actually move 500,000 Bitcoin from that account and give it to the Kleiman estate? Everybody will see it the moment it happens. That's the thing about the blockchain. It is public. Every transaction is public. That'll be a historic day when that wallet moves. And it will. He's right about this. It will affect the market because people are going to freak out and panic. The judge won't rule on whether I'm Satoshi, but the partnership is. So when Dave Kleiman passed, the partnership transferred to IRA. BSV, it won't be affected. But the judge ordered me to send just under 500,000 BTC over to IRA. Let's see what it does to the market. I wouldn't have tanked the market. I'm nice. You've threatened to tank the market 3 times, and you attempted to do so twice. This is why education is important, ladies and gentlemen. If you have made the decision that you want to be investing in the crypto space, know the history of the crypto space, especially from the time when the fork took place in 2017 into Bitcoin Cash, and then back into Bitcoin SV in 2018. According to Wright, Kleiman will have to sell around $2 billion worth of BTC to pay Florida's 40% state tax on inheritances over 11.18 million. That is false. The only way that can take place, first of all, Kleiman's going to have to report he now has assets worth that much on a tax return statement. And because of this being a public case, he's going to have to do that. However, the IRS laws on this are not set in stone. This is the problem with the IRS. Will he be taxed on that if he converts it into US dollars? Will he be taxed on it just because he's holding the Bitcoin? Will he be taxed if that Bitcoin gains in value? Let's say Bitcoin goes from $10,000 to $15,000. If that happens, he just gained another 2.5 billion just by that happening. I mean, that's some murky waters there, and Craig Wright's playing dirty here. The IRA doesn't actually need it, but he wants it. Everyone might want to start praying because I complied with courts, and that might get scary really, really quickly. The courts ruled that IRA inherited the $5 billion. That part is true. Now he has to pay a state tax on that if he wants it. Everyone makes me look like a mean asshole. I might have been a prick. Yes, you are. But I was the prick who was withholding. No, you weren't. I could have tanked the market any time in the last 10 years and ran away laughing. I didn't. During the court case, Wright claimed he couldn't produce a. Here's why this is a lie. You go back to his interviews. November of 2018, after Bitcoin SV forked, so you have Bitcoin ABC and Bitcoin SV, and he was going to war with the people behind Bitcoin Cash still. And he's the reason why Bitcoin dropped from $6,000 to $3,000. And he said he's going to push it all the way down to $1,500. He was trying to tank the market. So if he had the ability to do so just by moving these coins, he would have done it. This is why I'm skeptical over if he actually does have access to this account. So during the court case, Wright claimed he couldn't produce a list of all his early Bitcoin addresses because he entrusted his former partner, Kleiman, who died in 2013, with a critical piece of information. Without it, Wright said he couldn't access the address. There you go right there. He's saying, does he have access to the addresses now? This doesn't say. That's a critical question. So if he says he didn't have access to this critical piece of information, did Dave Kleiman take it to the grave? Will that million Bitcoin just sit in that wallet forever? Without it, Wright couldn't access the addresses. So he doesn't have access to the addresses. This is something we want to keep pay close attention to, because how this plays out, it will affect the markets. You know, a whale moves 200 Bitcoin around and everybody starts, reacting to that. So what if you move 500,000 Bitcoin? Oh yes, that's going to have a worldwide impact. All right, enough with that article. Let's go with, let's see, Gina sent me these. What about this? Wannabe crypto whale tries to send $46 billion in Tether? What? First of all, Tether doesn't even have $46 billion worth. $46 billion in Tether? Huh. What is this talking about? In an attempt to transfer a 46 billion Tether worth $46 billion is turning heads among crypto whale watchers. Whale Alert first reported the transfer, which tried to move significantly more than Tether's total supply of 17.8 billion between two unknown wallets. Well, how if there's only 17.8 billion Tether in existence, how is it possible to have 46 billion in a wallet that could be moved in the first place? This doesn't make any sense. The attempted transfer was later deemed to be invalid due to insufficient funds. According to Omni Explorer, the transfer would have cost just 52 cents. Okay, now I like that. Check this out. See, this is why crypto is so important. If you wanted to move money through Western Union from one country to another, let's say you want, I think they've got a limit of $3,000, right? Before they got to report you. If you want to move $3,000 from one country to another on Western Union, how much do they charge you? What, 80 bucks? $70? What if you wanted to move millions as a bank wire from one bank in one country to another country? What does that cost you? What, a couple $1,000 to move millions? This guy attempted to move $46 billion. You know what the transfer fee would be? If it went through, 52 freaking cents. That should tell you something right there. That is why the blockchain technology is so revolutionary. It eliminates the middleman. It cuts down cost. All the institutions that were originally against it, it will help their businesses. That's why the banks are jumping on it now. After initially being completely against it because they saw it as a threat, now that they're starting to understand the technology behind it, they're like, wait a minute. We're going to make and save a whole lot of money if we actually use this technology. 52 cents to move 46 billion. Crypto whales at large have been relatively quiet as Bitcoin hovers at $10,000. One noticeably large Bitcoin transaction moved 12,000. Bitcoin worth 124.8 million. Think about that. This is where Craig Wright is right. A noticeably large transaction with 12,000 Bitcoin. What if it's 500,000 Bitcoin on the move? Now, this was sent to between two unknown wallets. The transfer could be an over-the-counter sale or represent a trader or organization moving funds between wallets to keep the asset secure. That's what I think is more likely. The biggest Bitcoin holders, you have to understand, there's only a handful of them. But it's not like they only have one or two accounts. They've got dozens of accounts. They have their Bitcoin spread out all over the place. They don't have it sitting in just one account. So you might look at the top 10 Bitcoin accounts, might be controlled, 8 of the top 10 might be controlled by the same person. All right, that's it for that article. Let's go on with the last article for today. Analysts caution crypto traders, say lower highs signal a major correction incoming. A correction, what, down? A pair of crypto analysts aren't buying bullish optimism on Bitcoin short-term prospects. Crypto trader and entrepreneur Bob Lucas says Bitcoin's rally that began in December of last year is on hold, with Bitcoin now posting a series of lower highs in succession. Lucas expects BTC to move as low as, wait, look at the number there. 7,900. What have I been saying for the last 4 months? I believe Bitcoin's going to go down to at least 7,500 or lower. What does this guy say? He expects Bitcoin to move as low as 7,900 in a major shakeout before a renewed rally begins. Buy and hold as if it's going to rocket out of this consolidation. But no, the intermediate term rally from December lows ended. Therefore, a major shakeout from this consolidation before a continuation would be perfectly normal behavior. I agree 100%. It's just a matter of how low will it go. Meanwhile, a fellow analyst who goes by the alter ego Squeezy told his 104,000 followers on Twitter that a doji top in Bitcoin's daily chart indicates Bitcoin is poised to hit 10,500 before dropping below the $8,000 mark. I called it as well. The doji is a candlestick pattern that's used to identify potential market reversals based on prior price action. Meanwhile, the CEO of financial advisory giant DeVere Group is feeling far more bullish. Nigel Green tells The Independent that the U.S.-China trade war is likely to drive the price of Bitcoin higher. Maybe. See, here's the problem with that. Every time, the economy is actually roaring, but every time Donald Trump does a tweet, the market reacts and drops 400, 500 points, but it doesn't stay there. It's like the investors, Donald Trump shoots a gun and everybody ducks. And then once the shot is fired, the investors pick their heads up. Is it over with? Has a firing stopped? And then the market comes back up. We've seen this pattern all year. So it's not like, remember that time Donald Trump tweeted on a Friday that following Monday, the market dropped 900 points, the 5th worst drop in American history. But it didn't stay there. It only took a matter of days for it to jump another 600 points. So I don't think we have seen long-term stability in that to be able to tell that that's affecting the Bitcoin market yet. Now, that is just my opinion based on observation. And as a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so another financial advisor may say something different. So he says, it bounces at this price. If it fluctuates below this level, it shoots back up again. We have seen this in action on Monday when Bitcoin hit 10,500 in a matter of minutes. In the Sino-US trade tensions, if the Sino-US trade tensions were somehow dramatically de-escalated and the global economic outlook became more optimistic, the Bitcoin price will still continue to rise due to the other major factors driving it, not least the growing public awareness and institutional investment. I still say we've got until May 2020 before things never are the same again. Anyways, that is it for Early Morning Crypto Talk. I hope you learned something new. As always, that is the point. Major news happening within the next week. Today is Tuesday. The countdown is on. We've got a holiday weekend coming up this weekend as well. So I say to everybody, get ready. Stay plugged in. Things are going to start moving very quickly. If there's major news, I'll be back for Late Night Crypto Talk tonight. If not, I will not be. I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless. Have a great day. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.